well. So I have as my guest Fred Amankwasafo and my good friend Fred. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay, what we call you, you are not available.
Or
we haven't called you in a while.
You have, but sometimes I'm not in town, so.
Good. Okay, now, I don't know whether you participated in the Let My Vote Count demonstration, did you?
No, I wasn't around.
But
I wasn't in town, but but I support them and I'm with them.
Yes, I know.
All right.
I know you will support because you're a member of the MPP. He's a member of the MPP's communication team, though. But the Let My Vote Count demonstration alliance, they had wanted to do the picketing or the demonstration. Was it today? Is it today, 29th?
Today, yes.
Okay. The police were able to get an injunction from the courts, and a lot of drama surrounding it before the close of the news day yesterday. What do you make of it?
Well, thank you very much, and good morning. You caught me off guard. Good morning to our viewers.
Morning.
It's a drama that is unfolding, and that is very unfortunate. I thought that Ghana had come a long way in our democratic strides, and expression of people's desire to demonstrate should not create so much drama by the state institutions such as the police. The same circuit court, not the higher court, you seek for an injunction, ex parte injunction, to prevent the expression of people's sentiments. What you're doing is that you are bottling up so much emotions, and if it erupts, it might be very detrimental to all of us. The police, I'm not sure that we have the numbers of police that would be able to to protect the nation if all of us go on the streets. So I will urge the police to be more professional in their dealing. We would not go on the street. I was ready today, and I'm sure that a lot of people wanted to be on the street today. But if they are asking us not to, per court injunction, we will respect that. And kudos to the leaders. David Asante, my good friend, he's done marvelous, and I'm so proud of him. I'm sure that Let My Vote Count and the rest of us who support the need for a new register would find the need to ensure that the next time around we would have our way.
And David Asante has been very instrumental in putting together the group. We'll try as much as possible to get links with David Asante, the convener of the Let My Vote Count demonstration, and my director Fred is trying to make sure that we get in touch with him. You know, he's very busy this morning, getting a lot more of the calls because of the injunction. But if you take a look at all the resources that were marshaled, not necessarily financial resources, but the human resource that followed really the convenience of the demonstration, it brought to the realization that really the concerns from the MPP and the other groupings and all those groups that had also put their proposal before the Electoral Commission indeed had a lot more public opinion in the population, would you say?
Yes, I'm sure that if you study what we went through the last election, and even prior to that, the Electoral Commissioner himself, then Dr. Afarajan, had intimated that our register is bloated. After Dr. Baumia and the MPP proved to the world that, in fact, it's not just that it is bloated, but we have people who are from the neighboring countries also having their names registered in Ghana. It gives credence to the notion that whoever emerges as a president of this country has not necessarily been voted by the people of this country. You have Togolese, you have Ivorians, you have Burkinabés, all coming in to vote. It's not like we are averse to these people. We want them to stay here. But our constitution is so clear that you must be a Ghanaian citizen to be able to register and vote. And if you are voting in Togo and you are voting in this country, you need to prove to us that you have dual citizenship. Of course, if you have dual citizenship, then that's fine. So we all have, even the NDC agrees that the voters register is bloated. It is intriguing that in the same breath, they think that we can do something about it by cleaning it. How do you clean it? Well, probably we'll use the facial technology to cleanse it. But you need to talk to the person. You need to call the person and find out whether truly he is the one that you are talking about. It is too difficult to cleanse the whole thing. It might be expensive. The Asante Hine had come on board to say that, look, if it is about money, we can find it. We find money for all manner of things. The last time we airlifted money to Brazil, okay. Unfortunately, today we are saying that the black queens cannot get their pittance. So it is not about the money. It is not about time. We have, from now to 2016, we have about 16 months to go. We would be able to find money. We'll be able to find the time. It takes about a month or two to put together a new register. So I think that we should all embrace it. It's not going to, it's not like a positive thing for us. But whoever emerges as a leader of this country would have gained the support or the votes of all. This is a country that less than 30,000 extra votes can make a person become a president. So we need to be very careful when it comes to the voters register.
At the end of the day, also is beyond the concerns that you have, is also perhaps the variant view from the other side, who say that it's not necessarily about what you say the numbers are, but if you have identified them, why then don't you go to whichever polling stations there are and try to make a case? Because the law indeed stipulates what you need to do, all the things that you need to do by procedure, and how the law courts also will also need to come in to make sure if it's a minor, if it's somebody who has registered twice, or even an alien, you have remedies for that.
You see, the difficulty here is that at each polling station we have a biometric registration, but we don't have biometric voting. Okay, if we had biometric voting, it means that you cannot register, you cannot vote twice. And even if you do that at the polling station level, there are places that clearly you can say this is a stronghold of a particular political party. If we do that, you stop it. You write, you fill the complaint form. Even the process that you have to go through before the complaint is adjudicated on will still take too long, and we may not be able to arrive at any conclusion. And if there's no conclusion, yes, whoever emerges or whoever the electoral commissioner says had emerged the winner would carry the day. We went through 8 months of petition, and where did we get to? All right, we are still here even when the electoral commissioner himself admitted in court under oath that certain things were done wrongly. We were able to state that there were errors of omission, errors of administrative errors, there were errors of addition and all sorts of things. So you see, we play around the legalities and still are not able to find solution to this. The best way out of this, when both parties, both sides of the equation agrees that this voters register is bloated, this voters register have so many people in there who are not supposed to be there, then we have to go ahead and have a new register. I think that the question now is, people think that because of what they have done or what they did to the old register, anything that would take it away would create doom for them. But no, I don't think so. The NDC should not be too jittery when it comes to voters register, new voters register. They would get what they will have to get. If we think that we are being factual, we are being honest with our electoral system and our democracy, why are we running away from new voters register? We shouldn't.
But at the end of the day, is the need for the consensus, and usually IPAC is always available. That's the Inter-Party Advisory Committee, but also the parties and the various civil society groupings that would want to contribute to this have posited before the Electoral Commission their proposals. What do you make of the various proposals, especially from civil society, the other side of the political divide, and your side?
Well, I also think that apart from the NDC and perhaps few other smaller parties, I think
the PNC?
Yeah,
the PNC and
the PNC is not too clear about it.
It depends on
who is talking.
Who is talking? Yes.
Yes. Civil society largely agrees that we need a new voters register. A lot of traditional rulers are also coming on board to say that there's a need for a new register. If we don't have anything to hide and we want to clean the slates, I think that we should go for a new voters register to stop all this brouhaha and the bad press that the country is facing. Because look, what happened the last time would have international presence. if we had had the demonstration today, I'm sure that BBC would have been here, CNN would have been here, you would have been there. And then this is a global village. Investments, you know where I come from. People would take decisions to come and invest in this country when they think that all the parameters are right. Already we have doomstalk asking making people move away. If we have to bring on political instability, then we are creating more negatives for the nation. It will not help me. It will not augur well for my business. And that is where I come from. That, look, let's make sure that everything is clear. For me, even the courts, the way they handle this issue, it's so sad.
You mean in terms of the injunction?
In terms of the injunction.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. It's so sad that you have circuit court judge sitting and then virtually appending signature to what the police is saying. And the reason the police are giving. Initially, it was that we should not go on demonstration because they don't have the numbers. Now they are telling us that they have picked intel that people are going to there's going to be armed robbery in this
series
country.
Of targeting also the police.
And
as a result of that, they believe that level of insecurity would not enable them
what the police have succeeded in doing.
Police.
What the police have succeeded in doing is to tell the world that they don't have what it takes to manage this country, to keep the peace and security.
But
of this
at the end of the day, also is that the police have a legitimate right to raise whatever argument they want to raise, or the rationale, the reasons for which they would want some postponement, so to speak.
Yeah. But then, if you have a reason, we also have our reason. The law says that we should inform you and give you enough notice. 10 days notice. The law says 5 days, at least 5 days. We give you 10 days notice. If you think that there are installations that people are going to attack, all you do is to go cordon up those areas. And if you have picked the intel, what do? You pick up those people and question them. What stops you from picking the people that you have intel on to be planning to attack such installations? Why would you do that? The drama is so sad and it's so unfortunate. The police is now becoming an appendage of the NDC. They are tilting too much to the dictates of the president and the NDC, and it's so sad. We don't have to.
You're accusing the president to be involved in this?
I would not be surprised.
Is that not a wild accusation?
I will not be surprised because look, all this is going on. Why? You know his party that is in power.
Well,
you know his party that is
in far away.
You don't need to be here.
New York.
You don't need to be here. We speak without seeing you. And even when I'm not in town, I'm able to communicate with you. Right?
Well, I do understand that.
Yes,
because
so
now the world has become
exactly.
So
you really don't need to be here. But if you suppress the expression of people's will, you bottle up things. And we shouldn't think that, yes, Ghana is a peaceful country and so nothing can happen. The more we keep bottling up people's sentiments and preventing them from expressing their grievances, we are creating an environment where chaos and insecurity will suffice. It's not the best.
Okay. Do you say we have time to compile a new voters register?
Yes,
to display the register, to make sure all the concerns that all the various stakeholders will have is addressed?
If you're not going to do it thought by thought and you're going to do it across the nation, every polling station, yes, why can't we? We should. On the day of election, we have...
It's not police station, we'll have registration centers.
Yes, registration centers...
When it comes to election, then we have polling stations.
No, registration centers must be at the polling station. If you're not doing it thought, where you have sectors, or you demarcate an area and say today we are doing it, and then move the equipment to another place, move the equipment to the other place, that is where we'll have a problem. But if we take, for example, 30-day period and say that, look, these 30 days, including Saturday and Sunday, let's have registration. Why not? Why can't we do it?
So you're saying that we have the ability to do it?
We have the ability.
We just need to have the commitment.
We have the ability. If we get the commitment, we have the finances. If we don't have, we can go and seek. Look, what will happen if there's upheaval in this country? Our development partner will spend more time, more money, more resources.
Trying to broker peace and maintain peace.
Yes, so it is better now for them today. They will say, okay, how much is going to cost you? Let's finance it. And then we get there.
All right, we'll see how that goes. We know that sometimes the issue of cost is also coming up, and I know that you address that and try to. It's an argument that your side of the political divide tends to make, so it's a plausible one and a good one for you.
Yes, it is. It is,
but the other side will not always agree with you.
Well,
you'll say that your arguments are frivolous.
They might have their own interests as to why they think that they have won genuine election, unless, of course, they know that they are doing something that is not genuine. If it is not genuine, yes, then you play around the parameters and you play around issues that can be addressed. Let them put their grievances and let's address it. Let's have consensus. This is a nation for all of us. It's not as if we are driving anybody away. We want a clean election, a clean democracy, so that at least in the eyes of the world, people come into the country. For me, the major thing is investment. How do we have a nation that would be able to attract investment? Otherwise, we're just jokers.
Okay, the constituted committee of the Chief Justice that is expected to investigate the concerns or the allegations of bribery against some court judges as raised in the Anas Aremeyaw Anas audiovisual investigative piece is expected to sit today, but also alongside the criminal investigations departments of the police CID has also commenced investigations into the allegations of the corruption as we're talking about from Anas Aremeyaw Anas in that investigative video. And this followed a petition forwarded to the Inspector General of Police and the Attorney General by Anas that the said officers took bribes to subvert justice in the 2 years investigative piece that Anas undertook in the so we'll try as much as possible to get a lot more as far as this is concerned. But let's take you back to the Electoral Commission, because we just ended our discussion on the subject of the Let My Vote Count demonstrations and what they have. But there are other concerns also that are being raised. And well, we try as much as possible. Ideally, it would have been a day for demonstration led by the conveners of the Let My Vote Count demonstration. But now, following that very injunction, we know that it's not going to take place. But albeit, we try to visit the two venues. We're talking about the Obra Sport, which would have been the commencement place for that very demonstration, and the Electoral Commission premises, where the conveners had tried unsuccessfully to try to get to and submit their petition to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. So Mikala Anderson has been around there and bringing to us a situational report.
The Let My Vote Count Alliance was planned to stage a demonstration this morning to drum home the need for a new voters register. But that is not happening because the police has secured a restraining order to stop them from picketing at the EC's office. You would recall that 2 weeks ago, the group staged a similar demonstration which resulted in violence after police fired tear gas and rubber bullets following disagreement over routes. Well, although the exercise is not coming off this morning, it seems the police is leaving no stone unturned. They are heavily represented here at the Obra Sports. There is a police bus, 2 Toyota vans, and a police patrol van here at Obra Sports with heavily armed men on the ground. The question is, the exercise is not coming off. So what is the police doing here? So we've been sniffing around and we are now at the EC's office, the place Let My Vote Count Alliance group wants to picket. As you can see on your screens, there are scores of heavily armed policemen on the ground. In fact, they have mounted a roadblock to prevent any car, anybody, or even the media from using the road right in front of the EC's office. Why this display of force? What information is the police privy to that we are not?
So Michaela Anderson there, beautiful Michaela Anderson, giving us a situational report, especially from the beginning point of the demonstration, as we witnessed the last time around when the conveners of the Let My Vote Count Alliance, they led that very demonstration, ultimately, which led to the concerns about abuse of human rights and power by the police. And following those injuries, especially the losing of the eye by that very gentleman, Justice Ajakuma, in that very unfortunate incident there. In the meantime, though, the thing is, it was not coming off. Did they think that perhaps it may have taken place, and so the gagging up of security or trying to tighten up security at the two premises?
Well, I really don't know the mindset of the police.
Seems to be a show of force. So
it is, and it's unfortunate. This is not a police state. So it is. And these are a group of people, we are very law-abiding. We went to court to seek, to set aside the police injunction. So if there's anything, you go to court, and you've been to court, you don't have the numbers. You claim that people or some armed robbers are planning to attack the police and attack installations. But you have the numbers to mass up at Obra Sports and also at the Electoral Commission. So exactly what are we talking about here? Exactly whose interest is the police playing at? It's unfortunate, but we would abide by what the courts say. We would go to courts and get interpretation to the behavior of the police. In fact, not just this demonstration, but subsequent demonstrations. The police had been hiding behind the Public Order Act and trampling on the rights of individuals. It's not the best. And for me, we should know that whatever we are doing, our partners are looking at us. Our development partners are here. They are reading, they are seeing, they are watching. And it's not going to help the government, it's not going to help the nation. We should bow our heads in shame as a nation. Today is a day of shame. The same police at the blind side of the court, another court, you go to a different court to seek an injunction, not even a higher court, not to seek for a higher court's order, but the same circuit courts. It's sad.